This is the Starters 72 burning questions about the upcoming NBA season. Part 7 of 9 starts now!
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to Part 7 of the Starters NBA season preview. Whether you're listening to the podcast, catching us on NBA TV, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, it's Tass Mellis.
Are you ready for some ball talk?
To our left, your right at home, the Aussie of the group, it's Lee Ellis.
Girls.
Lee. And if you missed yesterday's show, Trey Kirby's wife, Laura, recently gave birth to a healthy and happy little girl. So we'll be without TK for a little while, but that's fine. We'll soldier on as we continue to tackle the 72 burning questions about the upcoming season. On tonight's show, Defensive Player of the Year predictions, weird nicknames inspired by and for Tass, and Lee Ellis will take to the hot seat for 5 burning questions of his own. But let's get to the cues, and as we do with all these, we want to hear from you. Hashtag the Starters on Twitter, your answers. Guys, which team is the most difficult team to predict?
It's the Miami Heat. I mean, LeBron James is gone. There's just so much to replace. How do you replace it? Well, let's take a look at what they're trying to replace.
Good luck.
27 points. He led the team with 7 rebounds a game. Yes, he averaged more rebounds than Chris Bosh. The assists first, the steals first, field goal percentage first. Man, that field goal percentage is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So who's going to step up and do that? Well, Dwayne Wade is the first guy that you think of. Now, let's check out Wade's stats pre-LeBron, the year before LeBron came. I mean, they were fantastic, 26.5. Last year was the first year that Wade went under 20 since his rookie season. You see, obviously, the assists have dropped, the free throw attempts, a big drop off, but the field goal percentage jumped up playing with LeBron James. The other guy who obviously has to step up is Christopher Bosh. Now, this is the guy that people expect to step up because he's younger than Wade. Wade missed a lot of games last season. You check the Toronto Raptor numbers there on the left. They are ridiculously good.
Wow.
Surprising that the field goal percentage was exactly the same with LeBron James. Chris Bosh is going to be the one that is asked to do it. Can he do it? I think we're asking a lot of Chris Bosh. A lot. I think he's got to be the best player offensively.
Yeah.
He also is their most important player defensively. And you can't simulate that during the offseason. He's going to have to do so much. You know, we looked at him as the third option whenever he needed to step up. He stepped up big time because he is that good a player. But it's going to be so different being the number 1 option on offense and defense. Their defense is going to struggle. Now, Wade, is he going to play more games than the 54 he played last year purposefully because he wanted to keep those knees in check for the playoffs? They know they're not going to have a long playoff run. At least they can expect they're not going to go to the NBA Finals. So maybe he plays a little bit more during the regular season, but it's just so much to ask these guys. What are they going to produce being 32 and 34 years of age?
They did bring in some help, though.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, yes, they lose the best player in the game, the best player in a long time in LeBron James, but they brought in some help in Luol Deng and Josh McRoberts. And that's why they are sort of tough to predict, because on paper, a lot of people out there like these two guys.
Yeah, they're good
and you
players.
would think, again, if Wade and Bosh can step it up, that's a pretty solid 4 guys there to try and lead your team back to the playoffs.
It is, and a lot of this is going to fall on Eric Spoelstra's shoulders. We know he's been a good coach of those last 4 years in Miami when he's had LeBron, but now he has to manage minutes differently, he has to manage players differently, and it's going to be interesting just to see how he handles it, because they are going to be certainly in the playoff hunt most season long. But if they do suffer an injury and they start to hit a bit of a losing streak, how he then gets them out of that and keeps them competitive, that's going to be an interesting thing for me.
Well, let's get to your pick of a particular team that's just very difficult to try and predict. Who do you got?
The Toronto Raptors. Look, they
Don't do that to me.
They punched above their weight last season. They did, because the start of the season, it was pretty much, you didn't know what was going to happen.
We thought everyone was going to be traded.
Exactly.
Dwayne Casey was going to be fired.
That's exactly my point. And they come out instead and finish 3rd in the Eastern Conference. DeMar DeRozan was an all-star. Kyle Lowry could have been, whatever you want to say there. Terrence Ross took strides last year. Jonas Valanciunas improved.
So why are they tough to predict?
Well, can they repeat that this year? Can they finish top 3 again in the Eastern Conference? Or are we going to see them drop off a little? A team's going to come in a little bit more prepared, because when you do punch above your weight and you surprise teams then this season, the following season, they say, hey, listen, remember what these guys did to last year? We've got to get back at them. And for the Toronto Raptors, what's really important, if they do make the playoffs, and I think they will,
They should.
Can they get out of the first round? That's the big question mark right now, because the last 3 years that they have made the playoffs, They've had home court advantage twice, and they haven't been able to get out of that first round. Last year, it was heartbreaking loss in Game 7 at home. But you hope that those are the sort of losses that actually build character for the team, and they're going to build experience, and they're going to be much better this season. I think they'll be better, but I'm not convinced they're going to be better.
Well, the nice thing about the Raptors is continuity.
Yes.
They have a lot of the same pieces.
Yep.
There are a couple new nice pieces that we've talked about, Lou Williams and James Johnson coming in, but the core, that young core, let's call it that as well, is still there, and it's still under Casey, and hopefully they're still focusing on being both a good defensive team and offensive team, because this is a top 10 team on both sides of the ball last year. Can they do that again?
It's remarkable, really, when you look at Kyle Lowry's situation, because basically he was gone, and then they signed him in the offseason for 4 years and $48 million. He's basically the stable of the franchise now. That is amazing. That, you know, general managers sometimes talk about the best trades you make are the ones that you don't actually make, and that's what happened with Kyle Lowry. He was on his way to New York, and New York got cold feet and pulled out.
Okay, Lowry, DeRozan, we know what we're getting from them. I think we're basically at the peak of Lowry, DeRozan, in my opinion. This is what we're going to get from them. Obviously, they're going to lead them to the playoffs. But Valanciunas and Terrence Ross are the question marks. Year 3 for both these guys. Can they bring this team into an elite level?
That's right.
And that's a huge question mark to me. I don't see it happening. I see them as supportive pieces, but they're not go-to pieces. I think where the help is going to come from is actually from outside the franchise. Because in 2015, they have a ton of expiring deals. Lots of them. Amir Johnson, Fields, Chuck Hayes, Lou Williams, these guys are getting paid. That's $28 million coming off the books. I feel like Masai Ujiri is going to pick somebody up, whether it's next offseason or the offseason after that. That's where the talent infusion is going to come from. It's not going to come from Jonas Valanciunas and Terrence Ross to take this team to another level.
A team that I'm going to talk about here, tough to predict, is the Indiana Pacers. And I know it's a team that we've talked about, and you guys weighed in as well on Facebook, that you thought they're going to fall out of the playoffs. They were the number 1 seed last year. The injuries, Lance Stevenson leaving, David West with a tweaked ankle now, they're not even going to make it. But I wouldn't be so sure to say that, because this is still a defensive team, and they're going to have to rely on that. This is one of the best defensive teams in the league, and for a while was one of the best defensive teams of all time there for a chunk at times. Now, how much was Paul George and Lance Stevenson a part of that? But really, it's the anchor there is Roy Hibbert. And I just have too much respect for Frank Vogel and Larry Bird to just completely write off this squad and say they're not going to make the playoffs. Because there's only 4 locks, really, in the East, right? Cavs,
Really?
Bulls,
I think there's more than
Wizards, Raptors. You might want to throw the Hornets in there.
I throw the Heat in there. I throw the Hawks in there.
Some of those teams, though, I don't think
that's-
anything's set in stone. One injury away from them falling off. I mean, there's going to be a possibility for the Pacers to at least sniff a 7th or 8th seed. That's all I'm saying. Again, too much respect for Frank Vogel, and mainly the defense, because they're going to play a lot of ugly basketball games, and they should.
Yeah.
That's going to be their best chance to win games.
Yeah, well, it saves them being in the Eastern Conference, because
course.
even if they get off to a slow start, that 7th and 8th spot in the East is definitely up for grabs this year, and they're not much worse than any of those other teams battling for it. You throw in both New York teams there, and of course, you know, teams like Atlanta, Detroit, they're going to be battling for those spots. So if they can somehow get their offense to score enough points, that's the biggest question mark for me, then I think they're going to be okay.
Well, unfortunately, Larry Bird's not out there to hit those shots because they had the 23rd ranked offense last year with Paul George and Lance Stevenson. Is it going to get any better? No. I don't think it's going to get any better. You know, as much as we love Frank Vogel, I don't see anybody being able to penetrate, investigate, and make things happen on that team. And then defensive-wise, obviously, they're going to get worse with Paul George and Lance
But
Stevenson.
can guys like Stuckey and C.J. Miles fill a bit of that defensive side of the ball? You're right. But I mean, you look at a team like the Bulls, they're always good despite being horrible on offense because they have a great defense. Let's hear what you guys think. Hashtag the starters. Which team is just the toughest to predict? Let us know. Got to take a break. But coming up next, we're going to debate the front runners for this season's Defensive Player of the Year. Lots of candidates, including the surge protector, Serge Ibaka. You're watching the starters. Welcome back to the starters. We're at question 50 of 72 burning cues about the upcoming season, and it's a good one. Another awards-based prediction. Guys, who will win Defensive Player of the Year?
This is tough.
Here are our picks. Tass, going with the Rockets' big man, Superman there, Dwight Howard.
He's back.
Lee likes Serge Ibaka. Trey, despite not being here, likes LeBron James. And I'm going with a repeat Defensive Player of the Year winner in Joakim Noah with the Bulls. Tass, have to admit, a little surprised with your Dwight pick? Why are you leaning towards him?
Well, physically, he's going to be better. I think we were all too busy ridiculing how he exited Orlando in 2012 to understand how difficult it is to come back from back surgery for a big man. He's 2 years removed from them back surgery now. He's only 28 years old. I think he's going to move a lot better, like he did in those Orlando days, intimidating guys all over the place. Second thing, Trevor Ariza is his new starting small forward, a better defensive forward than Chandler Parsons.
Right.
So I think Dwight isn't going to have to cover as much ground, make up for guys' mistakes as much as he did last year. Plus, Patrick Beverley was out for about 25, 26 games. So that's a big, big factor. And they're not starting from scratch here.
Yeah.
They're an average defensive team. They're about 13th last year. And the last thing, they just know who they are a little bit better. This is their second year together. I'm talking about Dwight and James Harden. And they're saying all the right things about playing defense in camp. They know if they're going to get better, it's not offense. They're fantastic.
Right.
It's on the defensive end. So I think just a little familiarity. They have a bit of a hierarchy now with Ashik and Jeremy Lin leaving. This is going to be a better team.
All right, you go with Superman. Lee, you said Surge. Why the Surge protector?
I think he finally gets the recognition that he deserves this year.
Because he's always in the running.
He's always in the running. He's been a great defender for a long time. And last season, he played the most minutes of his career, though he blocked 23 fewer shots than the season before. You might think, well, maybe he's not as good a defender. But the thing is, teams and players are actually keeping away from him now
course.
because he's such a presence there. Last year, he led the league in defensive impact. Now, that takes into account blocks, steals, rim protection, opponent's field goal percentage when he's on the floor. Now, I really, really like that they can now measure a stat like this, because for so long defensive players get overlooked because it's a little bit harder to quantify their impact. But Serge Ibaka, I mean, remember the playoffs last year against the San Antonio Spurs? The first two games he didn't play. Oklahoma City got murdered, and then in the next two games came back, they tied the series. I know obviously San Antonio went on to win the championship, but Serge had such a huge impact on those second two games. San Antonio were even afraid. They didn't know quite how to handle him. So I think he finally gets that recognition this year, and I hope he wins it because he's been such a good defender for so long.
He's just grown as a good positional defender as well. Forget about the blocks. Doesn't matter if they drop down.
No.
If the last few years, he's just gotten become a smarter defender and just knows where to be on the floor.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Guys know that when they come in, sometimes you won't be able to measure a stat where a guy comes in, sees him, turns around, and then passes off to someone else and they put up a three-pointer or something with the shot clock expired.
Oh, intimidates a lot of guys.
Exactly.
As does Dwight. I mean,
yeah, a lot of these guys do. But that's the thing about Serge is he is there and his presence has such an impact on the rest of his team.
Well, I'm going with Noah, who definitely plays defense a little differently than your Dwights and your Serge Ibakas. He can play 1 through 5 on the floor a lot of times. You'll see him pick up point guards. He'll get down in his defensive stance, and he'll keep them out. So I like him to repeat because in this category or in this award, it happens a lot. I mean, you go through the past. Dwight Howard did it 3 times in a row, but guys like Ben Wallace and Zoe and Deke and Elijah Rodman. And with Noah, it isn't really all about the numbers, and that's where we've headed with this Defensive Player of the Year award. We give respect now to a guy that sort of leads his team to a top 5 or top 3 defense in the league. Noah, Gasol 2 years ago, Tyson Chandler, the impact he had with the Knicks. And so I don't see any reason why the Bulls, first off, probably won't be the best defense in the league still, and why Noah won't get that recognition again. But I want to get to Trey's pick about LeBron James because I think it's a little interesting. We've heard LeBron talk in the past about, hey, I want to go get the Defensive Player of the Year award.
I want that MJ award.
I want that MJ award. We know Jordan did it once in his career. The narrative sort of works where this could be the year where that's a possibility. LeBron going back to Cleveland, if he could have an impact on the defensive side of the ball, get that Cavs' entire defense playing better, maybe it's the year that he does get the votes for this.
That makes sense. And I think he can expend more energy playing with Kyrie Irving, who's going to be handling the ball a ton. LeBron had to do so much on the offensive end for the Miami Heat that he's not going to have to do with Cleveland Cavaliers because Kyrie is just used to handling the ball so much. So the narrative is there.
You think he can put more energy on the defensive side?
I think he couldn't be the great defender that he is. Listen, he can do whatever he wants on the basketball floor. He can be a great defender on every single possession, but he couldn't because I think he had to expend too much energy on the offensive end.
I think, unfortunately, we take his defense for granted still a little bit. I think he's been such a good defender for so long. The standard is so high that it doesn't stand out as much as it could. Because I think he should have won it the year Marc Gasol won it, and absolutely no disrespect to Marc Gasol, is a fantastic defender. But LeBron's impact on his team, and again, guarding 1 through 5, any position, any time Eric Spoelstra needed a stop, he'd put LeBron on the defender. We saw it against Tony Parker in the finals. I mean, he's just an outstanding defender, and he should get that recognition. I just think that ship might have sailed for him, though.
This is a very tough prediction here, this Defensive Player of the Year. Many other candidates. Roy Hibbert, let's say he keeps the Pacers as one of the best defenses in the league. Possibility, DeAndre Jordan with the Clippers. Maybe Kawhi Leonard. It's tough for a wing guy to pick up this award, but he's a great defensive player. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Marc Gasol, again. There's tons of guys. Let us know what you think. Hashtag the starters, your defensive player of the year predictions. On to the next question. And man,
do it.
it's a weird one. This one's the weirdest one
That's
we've
the
had
starters.
yet. Guys, which random nickname will Tass try to get to stick this season?
Yeah, it's a bit of an annual tradition here on the starters.
Yeah.
I give someone a nickname.
It's like Halloween.
And hopefully it sticks.
Right.
Let me take you through some of the nicknames I've given out in the past. Eric Maynor.
Yeah.
Given him the nickname of the Mainer's office. That makes sense. Wherever he shot the ball from, I called it the Mainer's office.
yeah.
Unfortunately, he's been relieved of his duties as mayor. He doesn't have a job. Ricky Rubio. Pretty tricky, Ricky.
I actually still use this one, so that's a good one.
Pretty tricky. I mean, it's just so much fun to say. And last year, I gave Nick Kalathis the name of Nicky Baskets because he comes from Greek descent. His last name, Kalathis, actually translates to baskets.
Wow.
So that makes sense.
The more you know.
I sound like the dad
There's
from
some
My Big
logic
Frat
behind
Greek
it, though.
Wedding.
There's some logic behind it then, isn't there? It's not
Not
just
much.
random.
Oh, there's
Not much.
lots of things. I mean, those three were great.
Well, let's get to the new ones here then. What do we
This
got?
year, I didn't come up with a nickname. I was in a musical mood. So
Okay.
I came up with the song instead. Now, whenever you guys talk about the Sixers, to make it a little more interesting,
Yeah.
you should sing this. You have to sing this. Noel, Joel, Noel, Joel.
Got a beautiful voice.
Injury prone, but play basketball well. Sam Hinkie's a Scrooge. Why do you want to lose? Play for the spirit, not lottery moves.
Oh, then you talk.
Wouldn't that make talking about the Sixers
Wow.
more interesting?
Well, make it a
Only
lot
if it's around
longer.
Christmas.
Well, no. Noel, Joel, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Wow, that's good stuff, Tass.
All right,
I'd love to say. And I think Trey also was leaning towards the Sixers as well.
Yeah, he did. He did. He sent in his pick. He knows that I love squirrels.
Yep.
So he called Nerlens Noel Squirrelins Noel.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good. I mean, I do love squirrels. Unfortunately, here in Atlanta, we only have brown squirrels.
Yeah.
Up in Canada, it's a melting pot of squirrels. There's brown squirrels.
There's a white
black
squirrel.
squirrels. There was a white squirrel. He died though.
What?
So they're extinct.
There was just one.
Yeah, there was just one.
Okay. Lee, help, I don't know how you do it, but help Tass out. Which nickname is he going to try and push on everyone this year?
I'm going with Boston Celtics rookie Marcus. He's so smart.
Simple.
Now, yeah, I
Very
think
simple.
This guy, we don't quite know exactly how good his game's going to be, but he's got a good body, which I like for rookies coming in. I think he's going to take his opponents in a low post to score, and I think Tass is going to say all season, Marcus, he's so smart.
I'm going with international rookie Bulls forward Nikola Mirotic. Because you like puns. We're in Atlanta here. You've been to
do
the
like
Coke
puns.
Museum.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of Coca-Cola Mirotic. Maybe you call him the refresher. I don't know. I'm not the expert at this task. I'm just trying to give you a suggestion.
Stacey King has already gone with the Ricola, which
Yeah.
is kind of hard to beat.
That's true. All right, guys, let us know on Twitter. Give Tass a suggestion, a player at least, for a new nickname. Got to take a break. When we return, can Harden and Howard win a championship for Houston? Lee jumps on the hot seat next. You're watching the starters. Back with the starters, and Lee Ellis is back on the hot seat. We threw another shrimp on the bobby. Lee, 5 questions for you, mate. Here we go. First one. Who would you rather be, Mark Cuban or Greg Popovich?
Great question.
tough.
Great question. I love Mark Cuban. I think he's the best owner in sports. I love the fact that you see him at Mavs games, always sitting behind the bench, wearing a T-shirt. He interacts with his fans and the players just as comfortably. But I'm going to go with Greg Popovich. I just love Popovich. He's got the 5 championships. He's been coaching forever. He's got the snark. He's got the sense of humour. And after all these years, he's still got the same fiery passion. So I'll take Popovich.
All right,
Cuban's
next
not going to let you on Shark Tank with that answer.
Next question. What will Adam Silver's next big move be?
Right, you've got to read between the lines here. This season, we're having an extended All-Star break.
Right.
I think Adam Silver wants to continue to grow the game overseas. I think in a couple of years' time, we're going to see the All-Star weekend taken overseas to Europe, probably London or Paris or Barcelona or somewhere like that. It's going to be a whole 10-day event, just a basketball extravaganza. So I think that's where Adam Silver's looking.
All right, it'll be a couple of years.
In a couple of years' time,
But
yeah.
I like that. All right, third question. Who has the best biceps in the league? You won't stop talking about biceps on this show.
I love biceps. Derek Fisher is still in the league,
Yeah.
coaching, but he's still a candidate.
gonna rip through his
He's got those
suit.
Great biceps,
Yeah.
yeah. Chandler Parsons, did you see what he did this summer? Look what he's
No, he's pushing up his arms. I do that all
We
the
can
time.
do better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge. And also DeMar DeRozan, from the Toronto Raptors. He obviously was hitting the gym as well this summer, getting a little bit of muscle out of the biceps.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Serge Ibaka from the Oklahoma City Thunder. His arms in general are just majestic beasts.
Okay.
And his biceps
All
are
right.
delightful.
Yeah, okay.
Serge.
All right.
We asked them the question. Fourth question, which current player is most like a modern-day Tom Chambers?
That's like asking me who the modern day Elvis is. You need a guy who's about the same sort of height, plays in a similar sort of way, who can shoot the ball well. I'm going to go with Gordon Hayward from the Utah Jazz. I like his game, I like his style. And of course, if you remember back in 1989, this famous dunk from Tommy Chambers over Mark Jackson.
Yep.
Beautiful one. Well, Gordon Hayward had a similar type one
Oh, come on.
in the pre-seal. That's close, isn't it? I mean, and look at the tail of the tape of these two guys. About the same sort of height. Tommy's got a few extra pounds on him. Drafted 9th was Gordon Hayward. Tommy Chambers was drafted 8th. First jersey number, Gordo was 20, Tommy was 22. And of course, the preferred signature do is the side pass.
Yes,
So
the
I think
side.
it's those two.
All right, final one on the hot seat for Lee. Can you win a title with Dwight Howard and James Harden as your two best players?
Ooh, tough question.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe won a few, Michael and Scotty won a few, but I don't think these two guys are in that class right now. I think they flamed out pretty badly last year against the Portland Trail Blazers. I think,
It was a bad matchup for them.
yeah, well, but they won 3-1 in the regular season series, so they should have gone in. They had home court advantage, they
Yeah.
were favourites. I don't think so. I think Houston are missing one more key piece. Don't think it helped that they lost Chandler Parsons in the offseason.
All right, there it is. The Aussie on the hot seat. Great stuff, Lee. Appreciate it. And chime in with all your answers. Hashtag the starters. The questions we just asked Lee. Final break. But when we return, you, the fans, the people, make your defensive player of the year picks. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the starters. Back with the starters, we asked you, the fans out there, who you thought would win Defensive Player of the Year. We put up the poll on the starters Facebook page, and the results, well, they varied. 27% of you, though, in the end, went with Lee's pick of Serge Ibaka.
Smart fans.
18% of you going with Noah, who I'm taking in a repeat performance there. 10% of you saying DeAndre Jordan. Other votes across the board for all those guys we also mentioned, Hibbert, Leonard, and Marc Gasol, and Dwight Howard. A lot of you wanted Anthony Davis on the poll. We actually didn't even have him as an option. A lot of you were trying to write his name in. I didn't include Anthony Davis at first because they were just such a poor defensive team, the Pelicans, last year. But I could see why it makes a little bit of sense, especially with Ashik there now. The numbers defensively are going to be there. Can they become sort of a top 15, top 10 defensive team, though? That's the question.
Yeah, and there's talk about them changing the way Anthony Davis plays, dropping him back, as Zach Lowe has written about. That would be smart.
All right, guys, part 8 of the 72 burning questions tomorrow. We got some doozies here. We'll get into MVP, Coach of the Year, and the best new bromance for the upcoming season. So join us for our part 8 tomorrow.
Thank you very much for joining us today. And remember, if you give someone a USB stick they use for an illegal download, then you are an accomplice.
Brace the night, people. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, man, you do what you got.